Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sunday out there to everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is episode 2 of the Dirt Sheet Debate. Myself and that pretty face are going to dive into all the hot topics from around the dirt sheets and the wrestling world. So make sure you strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, and grab your feel good. We're going to roll through this one today. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We're live and well, folks. I hope everyone out there is having a happy, healthy, safe weekend. Like I said, hope everyone is doing wonderful. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is the Dirt Sheet Debate, where me and that guy are going to get into all the fun stuff around the wrestling world. Some topics to get into. Remember to get in that chat. We do have chat's choice. So if you have a topic on your mind, throw it in there. And then at the end of the show, we will do 1 minute rapid fire questions with the host. So if you have any random questions for the host, like what does your beard smell like? Get into that.
Pause.
I will remind everybody, I am Mr. Evernight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick. Hi, Big Nick.
I'm not going to do the whole road.
But yeah, so we're going to get into a bunch of stuff here today. Again, talk amongst yourselves, get in that chat, say hello. We see it filling up. Hello. But let's get into the first topic on hand today, and that is going to be one said Miss Ronda Rousey. But yes, once I set the clock, Nick, it's been a crazy couple weeks in wrestling, and this is a big surprise. So let's go.
Yeah, I did not have this on my bingo card at all. Though the same woman that's been there getting her hair done and talking about how wrestling's fake and all this just seemed like she hated pro wrestling, but wanted to get paid. Is now, I guess, into Ronda. No one had Indie Ronda on their 2023 bingo card, I feel.
Not at all. We thought, like you said, I thought this lady did not like wrestling. I thought she was over it. She didn't seem too engaged in actually being a wrestling fan or a wrestling participant. Rumor was she was, retired from wrestling and mixed martial arts. And as it turns out, she shows up to help her friend Marina Shafir take on Taya Valkyrie and Brian Kendrick. And then quickly after, it's announced she will appear at Wrestling Revolver alongside the likes of John Moxley. And this has only created AEW rumors, Nick.
Oh, I don't think we go that far with this. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, maybe. Fuck, maybe.
You couldn't see Tony, back off the dump truck?
But do you think that, like, honestly, do you see WWE fans, if we're going to go that way with this, do you see WWE fans clamoring for Ronda back?
No, I'm happy that she's gone. So
wait, she retired and no one's like, okay, I'm glad you saw yourself out. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, even when Shayna kind of turned on her, it got cheers. People were thrilled that it was happening.
More excited for Shayna than Ronda on anything. I literally still saw people today tweeting out, old Ronda promos, and you're like, what was she trying to say here? Like,
well, and I mean, ironically, she's teaming up with Marina Shafir, known for wonderful promos.
You think you know me?
You think you know me?
You don't know who I am. No, I actually like Marina more than I like Ronda. I think it's very interesting that she's going to be in Wrestling Revolver. Maybe she just kind of stays and does that, because Marina that we get in Wrestling Revolver is way different than the Marina we get in AEW. True. The one in AEW is the one with the straw hat, cutting confused promos. Doesn't know who she is or where she is. Her in Wrestling Revolver, she goes back to being that MMA badass. Part of when we were excited for the Four Horsewomen.
So is this something you could see Ronda doing like sticking around, doing an indie tour, becoming the Matt Cardona of No?
I didn't even think about it with the whole AEW aspect until you literally just mentioned. I'm like, oh God, don't you?
Does she move the needle for AEW if they grab her?
Yeah, she will. Well, in the sense of it's gonna be one that you're not gonna expect, and they'll look at it as they got one over on WWE when they were just giving her away.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, yeah, I think they'll do it. I think Tony Khan will take a swing at it. I think Tony Khan will dig into this one for sure. But I don't know. Like, I think kind of like others, she can't really do a promo. She's not great in the ring. What do you do? How do you do it? Like, it's going to be sloppy at best.
Tag matches, and well, I mean, that fits with the AW women's division to some extent, respectfully. There's some that are great, like we watched last night with Abaddon and Sheeta, and then there's some very clearly not so great.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it would be a mixed bag. I mean, a lot of people think like this would be a big deal, big coup. But again, to me, it strikes as another athlete that WWE is kind of over. Like, then,
Right. And I'm so super surprised that she came back to pro wrestling. Like, she seemed to, by the end of it, she just hated being there and was just there because she was contractually obligated to do.
yeah, I mean, does that mean that at the end of the day that, yeah, that's where I think that maybe she does take the money. Maybe she does get an offer. Maybe she does try her hand, show up for a few matches here or there. The scenario's got to be right. They're going to have to insulate her in a way that doesn't expose her the way others have been exposed.
Yeah, do BCC her?
Oh, Christ on a cracker.
He's
no.
a fighter and all of that, and John Moxley.
Would she gig herself?
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, is she gonna do like blade jobs? Is she gonna be taking a lot of chair spots and going through tables and everything?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think she kind of like, to me, she's the anti AEW star. Like, that's the person when she was in WWE, those AEW faithful hated her. And if she joined, what does it say now? Do you change your tune?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And she's very much, yeah. Ronda seems almost too Hollywood for AEW, I would say.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Now, ironically, I mean, not much more we could say about that. Ironically, another person that the WWE has kind of gotten over and will be our next topic here, Nick, is the gift that keeps on giving. Tony Khan gives Sting Ric Flair for early Christmas.
Yeah, well, you were live on stream, so what's your take on this, sir?
I died. I could not stop laughing. I popped. I will admit, like, I don't care. I think in the grand scheme of things, if you break it down, it's a little. I understand why they did it. It's a little dumb and unexpected. Lots of speculation. Does Rick want to try and get in the ring? Will Tony let Rick get in the ring? But to me, I feel like he overhyped this big moment. Ric Flair's huge, but it didn't feel like the right moment. Like, I don't know. It was just odd, but I laughed the whole time.
Well, that's what Tony Khan's good at, is building up a moment and then failing to deliver on it. But I think it would have been great. I think of it this way. It was great to an extent if it was a one-night thing. If it's just a one-night cool spot, okay, cool. We get to see Ric Flair, everything like that. The fact that he's staying around is what changed everybody instantly on this. Now it became oh shit, is he going to try and have another match? How much is he going to be involved? What is he going to get into being involved with AEW?
Right.
And is it dampering, or does it damper the focus being on Sting with this being his retirement run?
Listen, I mean, Ric Flair is an infamous spotlight stealer. So again, if he's hanging around, going to be like the manager, friend, buddy for the next little while, even if you put him in a tag match, I couldn't be the booker that books Ric Flair in 2023. I couldn't.
Now, do we see that? Just like we were just talking about with Ronda, do we see Ric Flair have another match, even if it's a tag match like he had with his last one? Anything, 6-man something. Does Ric Flair have a match in AEW?
If anyone would do it, I think Tony Khan would do it. I think he would. If he dies, he dies.
That's a bit what it feels like, and Rick's welcomed that, which is creepy.
A little ominous.
Yeah. But like you said, you expected it to be something else with them making such a huge deal about this being Tony Khan's got a gift for Sting. That was pretty much the main thing being advertised going into the show.
Yep. Yeah.
And we just get the Nature Boy.
Yeah, and the fact that it wasn't just like it kind of had the feel of like Sting, this is your life. But then when Ric Flair was like, I'm gonna hang around till March, it was like, okay. Now the opposite of Ronda Rousey, Ric Flair is 100% going to bring eyes. People are gonna pay attention to everything and anything Ric Flair does. He's just that guy. So this is crazy. I mean, is he off Vince McMahon's Christmas list? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think he cares at this point. And like you said initially, I don't think WWE cares either.
No.
Because they've tried it before. They've already done it to where he's been around with Charlotte. They tried to do the awkward Lacey Evans thing, if anyone remembers that. They outside of a Legends deal, what are they going to do with Flair?
Right. And then actually, what are they going to do with Flair? A couple suggestions coming in from the fans just saying there's a good chance that Ric Flair turns on Sting.
Tale as old as time.
Sting, Darby get corrupted by Ric Flair, become evil Darbs.
Even with the face tat and everything, he starts wheeling and dealing, wearing the suits, the giant robes and everything. He goes that route? I don't think so. I don't think that they're going to do a heel turn angle with this. This is very much just celebrating, their friendship, everything. Now, granted, I instantly went to, the last thing we got in WCW was Flair and Sting.
Yep.
Maybe it's a premonition, early warning sign, I feel.
Do they, I mean, what would you rather book? Darby versus Sting or Ric Flair versus Sting? Final match? Or whoever.
It's definitely going to be a final match.
I mean,
that
you want to talk about bringing
two-man enter, one-man leave.
If you feel, I mean, keep in mind, like March of 2024, 6 months from now, Rick's not getting any younger.
Right.
So it's going to be an extremely interesting situation, my guy, with the whole, again, Ric Flair being the gift. Surprising. Tony wasn't on screen. Tony didn't get involved. He literally had, Tony Schiavone bring out Ric Flair. I still can't get over it. It blew my mind.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, it should have just stayed as a one-night thing. The fact that you said right there, it's stretching out, we know already at least like 6 months, barring some catastrophe, a wee-woo incident. But this is going to go on now for 6 months. And that's when people kind of are like, all right, that's maybe we should. No, I'm good. You keep him.
Mm-hmm. And I just don't know if I want to see a Ric Flair match in 2023. You and I watched his last match live, his quote-unquote last match. And even that was just uncomfortable in spots.
Right. And like we were talking about with Ronda, what kind of crazy spot is Ric Flair going to end up doing? Maybe he doesn't have a match, but he takes a crazy bump. We've already seen Sting go off a ladder and beat the ever-loving bejesus out of tables.
He beavered that table hard, bro. For sure. But yeah, no, that's crazy. I don't know what we're going to do with Ric Flair, but that is that on Ric Flair. I see some comments rolling in, and good to see them, but again, Ric Flair give up the ropes. The man bleeds wrestling. Yeah, we'll see. What's up, Chambers? How you doing? Hello to everybody else out there, including We Are Pro Wrestling. Topic number 3 is an exciting one, Nick.
I like this one because so WWE is very much starting to announce a lot of shows coming up that are going to be overseas. Like you've got up there, we've got Bash in Berlin. Elimination Chamber is going to be in Perth, Australia.
Yep.
And then there's already, I think it's talk, I don't know if it's fully confirmed, about how Backlash 2024 is going to be in France.
Yeah. Patty.
So I think it's kind of really shows the different level, respectfully, that WWE's at. Granted, I know they've got 60 years in it, but we see your Wembley and we're just going to do that everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, all right, you got your Wembley, and I think they'll get to Wembley. I know we had the whole John Cena tease WrestleMania, going to England, but we saw it this summer, where they were in Montreal, then they were in London, and they were in Saudi. We're going back to Crown Jewel this weekend. We will be here live for that, folks. And yeah, I mean, you see the global impact of WWE. And again, yes, great for AEW. They got to win. They got a feather in their cap with Wembley. But it's the overall, like, it's what have you done this season, not what did you do this game. And I feel like this is 2024 is got the makings of insanity.
Oh, absolutely. And and it just expands pro wrestling in general. And I get we're comparing a 60-something-year-old company, 50, 60 years old to 3-4 years old. But now, even with the TKO deal, all of that, that they've almost run, I think, more international pay-per-views than they have domestic pay-per-views in 2024 or 2023. Sorry.
Is it more? It's close. It's neck and neck. And I mean, we
Well,
still got. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because you rattled off a bunch of them that even I forgot, like how Elimination Chamber was in Montreal. We're going back to Saudi this weekend.
Well, and I mean, what excites me as a WWE fan is the three first pay-per-views of the year are all big stadium shows. You talked about them going to Perth. That show's going to be insane. Like, the Australians are going to tear the place down. There's going to be bear everywhere. But it's going to be a good one. They're, plus they got Rumble in a big stadium in Florida. It's going to be a good one. And now you see it continue, and it's just big show, big show, big show. And don't mean Paul White.
Right. Well, we were here live watching Backlash and everything over in Puerto Rico, and just the reaction you got for everything throughout that whole show. It had a whole different vibe to it. Again, Elimination Chamber with Montreal, how that crowd came unglued. And where you're going to see that going to all these places that don't get regular WWE shows. And instead of just, it's a house show, we're going to give you a huge pay-per-view. We're going to give you a premium live event.
Yeah. And I mean, again, they talk about, they're collecting on these. They're getting these cities to front the bill on a big part. Right. Like, they're cashing in. Like I said, the Saudi show, the stadium could be completely empty. They're still making their couple bill. They're fucking thrilled with it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change a thing. And my question becomes, does this show them very aware of the fan bases? Like, Puerto Rico was a huge show. Montreal this year was a huge show. Going to London was huge. And just it's such a different dynamic with that crowd, with the fans that don't always get it. They go unglued for all of this.
Absolutely. And I think that helps make the U.S. crowds have to get up for it, because, well, then you don't get to get all the pay-per-views. They all go over somewhere else. These guys actually act like they like us. But,
right.
Yeah, and that's where you get the huge ticket sales and everything like that. I think this has a part to do with the sale, Hunter being much more in control of a lot of the situations, because we had NXT Europe was going to be coming back or trying to be a thing. They were starting to do all of those developmental territories of NXT, little pretty much chapters of it, before he had his cardiac issue. Now he's back in control, and now you've got way more money and a much bigger animal to deal with and be able to set that up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chambers says Osprey WWE trying to lure. I don't think they're trying to lure Osprey with overseas shows. I think it's a byproduct. Osprey might come because of overseas shows, but they ain't booking shit for one wrestler, especially that one.
Right. And why would you, if you're going to do that, you have a show, you don't have a show that's in his country. All the ones that have been announced are all around him, but not where he lives. But shit, we forgot about that being in the UK. Was Clash this year too?
Yeah.
So, damn, they really do. They're getting to the point to where almost every premium live event, or most of them, are international.
Yeah. And they're showing, because they're proving that the numbers are there. They're selling out huge. And again, I know Tony's happy about Wembley, but again, it's just a different animal at this different level. Maybe AEW goes overseas more. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right. Enough about the WWE. Let's talk about what happened last night on AEW. Man, what a match. You argued that it might be match of the year. I argued it might not be, but this whole MJF title run, how are we feeling about it? What's the check-in? He's about to set the record, the longest reigning AEW champion ever.
It's going back and looking at it versus just looking at the stuff recently. To me, looking at it still bigger picture, I'm not really mad at it. Okay. Because let's not forget, we had what initially started everything with him and Adam Cole. Granted, that those matches were a little awkward, but we had the Fatal 4-Way that was good. So, and even last night to me was still, I know it's at least a contender for match of the year. It's probably one of best. It's probably AEW's best TV match of all time.
Yeah, it really could be. It's up there with some of the other ones, and MJF's involved in a couple of the other ones as well. A 5-star match, as Chambers points out, definitely. I don't know. Quick side note: did you see that Johnny TV or Johnny Morrison dressed up as Meltzer for Halloween?
Yes.
But anyway, back to the point. Yeah, I think there's been lulls in MJF's title reign, but he's defending the title more often. He's involved in something at least. But the way I feel it, and I will give them credit for this, is MJF is the center of the AEW universe. There's nothing more important. There's nothing bigger. He is the guy. Now I'm hearing rumors that maybe, just maybe, he's signed an extension with AEW.
Really? I haven't heard that. I've heard him talk about whatever happens in the 2024 bidding war, as he keeps still calling it. But yeah, you're 100% right. He has become the backbone of this company, which is what your champion should do. Now, granted, he's probably had to overcompensate for some stuff, been overbooked, overused. Example, being involved in the Ring of Honor title scene right now, especially with Cole's sideline, supposed to have been going away. I don't get it anymore. Just get rid of those belts. Focus on the title. I know you and I go back and forth about how everybody's gunning for him, whether it's Samoa Joe, whether it's Jay White. Kenny got involved with this. It seems like everybody's still got an eye going at MJF, which you would want everybody going after the champion.
Yeah, for me, it's sloppy. There's a lot of sloppiness with the MJF stuff, and he's in and out of heel, babyface. It, affects how we perceive the character. I know he's good, but at one minute he's he's a complete jerk and a dick. Next minute he's hopping around like a kangaroo. I think there could be a little more clarity to how they book him, a little more sensibility to it. Again, I do not give a shit about him and Jay White, but if you look back through MJF's run here, he had great matches with Danielson. He had matches with Adam Cole. He had matches with, did he have an Orange Cassidy match in there? I think he might have. But they all seem like really good matches. Outside of some of the fluffy matches he did with Cole, I give him credit. It's probably the best title run of AEW's history.
Fair enough. I don't give it to him even. You put it over Punk?
Yeah, because Punk didn't really do shit. Like, Punk was a whole lot of hype and not a whole lot of delivery.
He got a whole lot of hurt.
A whole lot of hurt.
Well, speaking of Punk, I think what is even more of a credit to MJF with this title run is how he's had to overcome, like, he was setting up for Punk, and then he turns around and gets suspended and everything because the brawl out happens, everything like that. So we have to completely rewrite the story on the fly. Yeah. Then he's trying to catch some fire and everything. The fans are getting behind it with him and Cole. And then Cole gets hurt. So
Cole's not hurt.
We'll see. I'm not a trained doctor. I did not stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Is CM Punk the man behind the mask?
Alice in Chains?
But a lot of speculation of, could it be CM Punk behind the mask? You still think it's MJF?
I don't know what the fuck to make of it. At this point, I almost feel like Tony's kind of worried that everyone's thought of something way better than what he's actually doing.
Think it's a moving answer, like it was going to be.
Hey, it definitely changed from the first time we saw it till now. Watch it be Jungle Boy.
It could be Jungle Boy. A lot of people have thrown, not that many people have thrown Jungle Boy out there. The last couple of days, I saw people like, ooh, could it be Punk? I can't imagine it being Punk. Like, it makes no sense that you would pull him from a Chicago show for a storyline. Let's be realistic.
If it is, though, Tony Khan is then the devil, because the greatest trick he ever pulled was convincing us that he couldn't book, because if he pulled that fucking shit off, that is a goddamn Hail Mary to end all Hail Marys. That is a nuclear goddamn bomb dropping.
Fair enough. Yes, I will admit, if he comes full circle and all of a sudden it's Punk's the guy revealed as the troublemaker, Holy
They've
shit.
They've all been working this whole time. Could you imagine? Mind blown. We would have to sit there and be like, he is a genius.
Yeah, except if you're from Chicago and you were at All Out and you were like, wait,
They get
motherfucker, what?
4 shows a year from AW. They're good. You can
They're
miss one or
good.
two.
That's funny. That's funny. What's next? We got chat's choice. What is the chat thrown at us today? Hopefully somebody's got something to talk about.
I was gonna say, I gotta look. Now this is where we're looking.
I like it. All right. Anyone throw out what's something we should talk about? What's a hot topic?
What's going on in your wrestling minds right now?
Yeah, what's on your wrestling minds? We have to come up with shit all the time. So
I got one we can talk about while we look or whatever while they talk.
Okay.
Hammerstone asking for his release from MLW, and now I've seen Fightful SRS reporting too that Lance Enowahi has requested his release from MLW as well.
Yeah. Again, we've seen this before with other independent companies, so to speak, but we've also seen it with MLW before where there's been some management issues that seem to run off some people. And again, if you know there's big money out there and you're like, man, I'm locked in here for the next 2 years. We're going downhill. The booking is okay. Listen, we watch MLW. It's insane. Like, it's in big trouble. It's
a lot of these guys are locked in too.
What's that?
Like a lot of these guys are locked in too. Like I think Hammerstone's technically locked into like 2025 and everything. Mm-hmm. And it's so weird of where would you have Hammerstone go if he leaves MLW? I already know where Lance would go. He's going straight to WWE.
Yeah, Lance makes sense in WWE. I like the idea. If you can get Starks, Hammerstone, and MJF back together and let them dominate AEW as like just the best faction we've ever seen, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to say absolutely. I guess I was.
Yeah, you don't agree.
Yeah. Well, because I've seen a lot of people throw that around because we've got the match on Wednesday, the 8-man tag match to where MJF's got to find 3 friends. Now, granted, I feel like the kind of silhouettes that they have look like Danielson, Mox, and Yuta. So I think it's going to probably be something like that. But you've had people say it's going to be the Acclaimed. You've had people think that it's going to be that whole faction like you were just talking about with Hammerstone, MJF from was it MLW?
Yep.
Yeah. But I think he's still a WWE wet dream. Pause. He's 100% going to turn into the next when it comes crashing down. Inside. What?
You get Hammerstein coming out like, listen here, Cody, brother.
He'll be 100%. He's the ultimate babyface right there along with Cody. They're just America. Fuck yeah.
Just combined? I don't know.
The mega powers.
And yeah, Court Bowers had some interesting business relations and some issues. Still suing the WWE to the point where, even WWE's lawyer was like, no, we're good. Well, this is going to go to 2026. They'll be out of business before that lawsuit finishes.
Yeah. MLW contracts aren't worth the toilet paper they're written on.
Well, the problem is, and that might be part of the problem. Now, I can't confirm or deny this at this point, but if getting paid is an issue or getting fully paid is an issue, that's a problem. And again, if you don't see the company progressing, yeah, I guess you're going to have to push. You might have to lose some money to do it, but you got to get out of that contract.
Yeah, but now if he's already doing shady deals, is he going to let you out? Because that's the fucked situation.
I don't
get caught up in legal shit.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't think he can just let everybody walk. Like, then he's fudged altogether. And I mean, based on what we saw last night with NWA, if the MLW can just get their shit together, they got way more talent. They got a hidden gem or a hidden basket full of gems of just star talent waiting to be plucked.
We've talked for the longest time about Jacob Fatu and just waiting for him to go to WWE. I was talking about how Hammerstone should go to WWE. We think he goes AEW. Lance Enowahi right there. We're already both just like he's going straight to the bloodline. So there's an untapped wealth of talent in MLW.
Well, and we talk about like up and comers, even like Jay Bougie and guys like that. Like Alex
Kane, who's doing a tour in my neck of the woods and everything.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot down there that's definitely sufficient. Definitely that, I think a lot of promotions would like to get their hands on. Quickly, just want to confirm somebody made the comment, Jacob, welcome. Impact did sign the 19-year-old. His name is eluding me at the moment.
Give
But
me
yeah,
1 second and I'll pull it up.
known for the 450 centon.
Swanton.
Swanton, centon. Same thing.
Yeah, swimmy, schwammy,
Yeah,
Sammy.
yeah.
Looking. Yes, Leon Slater. And then I think they also did just sign somebody out of the gut check recently too, like last night.
Yeah.
Female. I can't remember her name. Sorry.
MLW looking for a TV deal. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to get a TV deal if reports of your big stars are wanting to walk. It's going to be a really tough one.
Yeah,
But,
it sounds a little bit like Heyman and ECW.
yeah, like when you're desperate and your best people are getting plucked away by the competition. Again, it's hard to pitch them like, oh, we got all this stuff going on, but you need the press to kind of go with it. And we've tuned into some MLW, and it's a little bit all over the place. Don't know when it's going to start. Don't know. Like, the show just ends.
Right.
It's odd. It really is an odd one. But yeah, no, I mean that's very interesting. We'll see where that goes moving forward. But yeah, boom, there we go. But yeah, no, rolling along, folks. And I know this is a bit of a quick hit. Before we do this, I will remind everyone, because I see it came up in the chat. Loon and Anthony will be here in just an hour and a half. They'll be here at 8 p.m. tonight. They are watching Taker Mankind Hell in the Cell.
The Hell in a Cell match that everyone knows.
The Hell in the Cell, which was one of the craziest ones ever. And then they're also watching the Concrete Creep match, whatever, tomato. Crypt.
You said like crepe.
Crepe, yeah. Concrete Crypt match. Where Paul Bearer is in trouble and Undertaker has to take on the Dudley Boys. So tune in for that. It's going to be a fun one with our Impact crew. So that's going to be good. Now,
you might see Paul Heyman get buried in concrete.
Yeah, tune in. Pay attention. Did you say Heyman?
Yeah, I did. Goddamn. All right.
Now, just in the next couple minutes, folks, we're going to do the rapid fire questions. That's your chance to ask the host. I believe it's my turn this week. Any question you want, and Big Nick's going to run this one as soon as I hit the clock. But other than that, let's go.
Doesn't have to be wrestling related or anything like that as well.
No, just anything. Let's go. Boom.
Here, I'll ask one. Blue Jays or Leafs?
Leafs. Puck over ball.
Come on, I gotta try and find some questions here.
Let's go.
I'm trying to fit. What? Explain to me what a bag of milk is.
Bag of milk is when you want more than 2 liters of milk, and they come in bags, and you drop it into a container, and it's much more convenient and easy and less. Yeah.
Any predictions who will team up with MJF for Dynamite? Says Steven.
I feel like it's got to be the Acclaimed. If it's not the Acclaimed, it seems weird, but he doesn't seem to want that. So maybe it's Roddy in the Kingdom.
Right. Well, I'll switch David's question. Favorite actor who's a wrestler or was a wrestler?
Favorite one? I don't know. I'll give it to Batista just because he's doing some real acting out there. I see the question. Thank you.
Right.
Huge is the answer.
What is your favorite color, sir?
Blue.
Oh, I should have figured with the Leafs.
Yeah.
That's like the national color of Toronto, I feel.
I mean, some would argue maybe red and white, but I mean, that's Canada, I suppose.
But yeah,
we're very
the Blue Jays, the Maple Leafs, the Argonauts.
Maple Leafs, Argonauts, double blue. Yeah, lots of blue.
Right.
Who is your favorite WWF wrestler and who is your favorite WCW wrestler? Oh, like going back WWF. I don't know. Does it count? I mean, Trips is my guy. I'm a diehard Triple H fan. Kurt Angle. If you want to go back to the Fed, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake.
What about WCW?
WCW. I mean, I have a soft spot for Flair. I think Flair's the best that ever did it. He is the Hugh Hefner of wrestling. Best, though, coming out of the WCW days. Raven.
Oh, really? Who makes you madder, Jeff Jarrett or Chris Jericho?
Jericho by a mile.
I like Boston here. I'd argue the color of the flag.
Pretty much.
Right. Gilly, KJ, what's your thoughts about the Bruins being a Canadian?
The Bruins being a Canadian.
Since you're Canadian, like, what are your thoughts and opinions?
Oh, the Bruins suck. I hate them. They should die and go away. The last time, like, listen, since I was 16, 17 years old, there's always been hair on my face except one time, and that's the Bruins and an epic comeback and an epic collapse by the Leafs. I was 7 minutes away from winning 3 bets, and I lost all 3 because the Leafs couldn't hold their shit together. Sorry, Boston gamer, but I got hatred for the Bruins.
You can have that. Not even what I'm at.
Yeah. But that being said, folks, would Punk put TNA on the map? He'd make them noteworthy for sure.
Absolutely.
Right. But no, we thank you for tuning in today, folks. Make sure you tell everybody about the Wrestling for Life Network. These questions are wild. Join Ringsider Anthony and Luna Havoc tonight for the Halloween rewatch. We had to change it. It's not Monster Balls this week.
Did we get to pause with it?
Yeah, speaking of Dave Bautista, Monsters Balls will be put on hold.
The animals.
But we got 2 matches tonight. We're back for Raw tomorrow, the Halloween edition of Raw, Halloween Havoc Night 2, and then all through the rest of the week. Nick, that was a fun one. That was good.
Absolutely. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that forward life with it.
I like when he does that. Let's go. See you, folks. Have a good night.